Hey, what's up guys? Chris Cullen here and welcome to a quite exciting video where I want to talk to you guys about my top 3 rules or guidelines or like pillars of filmmaking or whatever you want to call them. Because I think it's really important when you have some guidelines when you go to shoot out, like I know I do. So let's get started after I show you guys a few cinematic clips and take it from there. Pretty cool, huh? So basically, it goes from 1 to 3, and all 3 guidelines are extremely important on their own merit, but it does go on a hierarchy basics. Basically, 1 most important, 3 extremely important as well. But if you don't have 1 and 2, it's kind of like, you know. So let's get started, guys. Number 1, guys, is location, lighting, and what's in front of your lens. It doesn't matter if you have the best camera, the best crew, the best actor, the best concept. If your location, lighting, it's bad, it's not gonna matter, because a camera is not gonna make a boring room look great, or a forest that's just very basic look like something more than what it is. You know what I mean? So your location, your lighting, and what's in front of the lens is by far the number 1 most important thing to captivate an audience and make something cinematic to like transport the viewer to like another place. Not much one can do about this, I guess. It depends on your budget and where you live or where your project takes place, but do make sure that where you place the camera and the location is the best it can be. Now let's move to number 2. Let's say you have your location. You went around with a car and a friend and you found something. The second thing, very important, is your gear. But not just any gear. I'm a fanboy about gear. I go look at the new kid in the block, the new cameras, the new gimbals, the new everything, and I get excited about those things. But we also sometimes we lose ourselves in the new shiny thing. Now you do need very specific gear to make things look cinematic and evoke emotion. It all starts with the camera and the lens, of course, but it's not the most important thing. If you have a solid camera, let's say it shoots 1080p and it has the kit lens on. If you combine that with something like a 3-axis gimbal, it's gonna take you so much further than what the camera and the lens would by itself. So let's say you have something very basic for filmmakers. Let's say you have the A6300, which is what I use. And you say, it's not doing it. So you're looking out for like the A7S3. A gimbal and the A6300, even money-wise, is gonna take you so much further on what you can pull off in terms of camera movement and things like that than what the new A7S3 and new prime lens would. And that just applies to everything, from mics, drones, everything. Now you do need the basics, like I said. You need a camera, you need a lens, you need a gimbal, but you don't need the best of the best or the new 2020 edition. Also, while we're on the subject of gear, a drone shot. So having a drone is really important. I use the same technique for God of War Rise of the Sun, as well as Harry Potter concept, and basically it's the establishing shot, because it instantly puts the viewer into your film. So it's very important. But again, I am using the Mavic Air. It's not the favorite for many people. It has its issues for sure, but I'm a big fan of investing in good gear and then taking them to the next level with post-processing. And that is where number 3 comes in. post-processing. You guys have been amazing with your comments, and I read everything, by the way. And you always rave about how good the image looks, the colors, and how I achieve such a look, basically. Usually I get comments like, this looks amazing, was it shot at 12-bit color? Or what camera, and like, was it RAW, was it S-Log, what was it basically? I'm happy to report, guys, there is this basic A6300 codec, XVHD, 8-bit, and it's not even like that great, but if you know what you're doing, and you have experienced post-processing images, even something from a Mavic Air, which tends to have quite a lot of issues. If you know what you're doing, you can take an image from this kind of gear, which is very basic, like we're talking like starter level, and take it to the next level. So post-processing, understanding color, how to put certain filters and effects in order to not make the image crack, is what's gonna allow you to take something that most people consider basic and take it to the next level and have that evoke that cinematic feel. You know what I mean? So this is basically it, guys. Number one, location and what's in front of the lens. Number two, your gear, but not just any gear. You need the basics. And number three is post-processing. When you marry all of these three things together, you can create something that's way more than the sum of its parts. So that's basically my guidelines that I want to share with you guys. And of course, in upcoming videos, I'll go way more into depth about my gear, every little thing that I use and how I use it. Like, I actually have like this very cool setup for a gimbal that basically turns you into a one-man film epic guy. Because it just narrows down the workflow on the day of the shoot. And of course, all of this applies to independent filmmakers. If you have a studio, it obviously does not add up because you have a studio. But for the guy out there that wants to go out and create, I think you guys are going to be very excited with my setup. So I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, stay awesome.